There were so many restrictions and so many restrictions on girls. It was just such a buttoned up society.
In this heart of mine, you live all the time. Sweet Sue, just you.
I'm not sure that it was Auburn so much as the little enclave within Auburn that I grew up in. From the time I was little, I was surrounded by people who only spoke Polish. And it's hard for me to separate out how much was religion, how much was the ethnicity, how much was the times, the general culture. But there were so many restrictions on girls, the way, what you should wear, how your hair should be, don't be seen in certain situations, don't go to bars, don't go, not that I was interested necessarily, but I remember stopping around saying, I can't do this because I'm a girl, I want to be a boy. Our family doctor infuriated me because when I was thinking then about college, I told him I might want to be a doctor. And he looked at me and he said, you can't do that, you're a girl. And I told my mother when I got home I was never going to see him again. Our parents can be limiting in a lot of ways, or we can view them as limiting. But as I think back on how my parents behaved, I'm amazed at how much they were able to allow me to grow. I was only 17 when I went to college, and they understood that I wanted to do it, but they were apprehensive. And they also told me very frankly that they couldn't financially support that. So I knew that I was on my own. I was aware of my parents' apprehensions more than I was aware of mine. It was exciting to me. It was like opening up a whole new world. This is what I remember most of all was the classes. I remember one professor, I think it was organic chemistry, said he just did not do well on this prelim. And I said, well, I'm the head waitress. If you're the head waitress, you make all your room and board, not just half. But I also had to, do a lot of work. And I said, so I've been really busy doing that. He said, if you're not here to study, then just get out. And I was like, oh, that's really supportive. No, I think he just came from a different situation. I ran into that a lot. There were a lot of people who didn't understand that some people were trying to make it through rather than, everything being paid for. Yeah, everything about the college was, when you think about it now, was very old-fashioned. Women were not allowed to, we all had to live in dorms or in a sorority house. Couldn't, have an apartment or anything off campus.
Meanwhile, male students
Oh,
were,
yes,
they were
males, that was fine.
explicitly, okay.
Yeah, and we had to wear skirts. We couldn't wear slacks. The only time slacks were allowed on campus was if the temperature was below freezing. Because we had a curfew, we had to be into the dorm by 10 o'clock at night. We couldn't get books. You could take them out if they were on reserve for your classes, but we couldn't do that because the library closed at 11 and we had to be in at 10. We complained about that and got that straightened out by my sophomore or junior year. There were just a lot of those kinds of restrictions. And yet, I still remember having a lot of fun. I remember there was something called the Farm and Home Week that the College of Agriculture put on for the general community, and my mother came up to see what we were doing, and I was in a pathogenic bacteriology class then, and I was dealing with animals and inoculating them with varying pathogens and seeing the reaction. And I was so excited when I took her to see what I was doing. I think she got it. She understood how much I was getting from this experience. I understood then that she knew.